we talk a lot about fitness, a lot about working out, and that's kind of like a huge part of our lives. But we definitely don't want to make Meat Robots exclusively about fitness. So we want to just talk a little bit about everything that's awesome.
Yeah. Mainly kind of like people who inspire us. What I've been noticing lately is I've been talking to a lot of friends, and we're from upstate New York and Webster, and a lot of people we've gone to school with, they're all making like these big moves now, which is kind of like to be expected. We're at the age where a lot of our friends either graduated from college or we're in like our last year of college, so people are gonna naturally be making moves. But we've been seeing a lot of like entrepreneurial startups and just people kind of paving their own way, finding their own types of success, and that's something really cool. You know, about every time I speak to one of my old friends, most of the times they're all doing something really exciting, and that just, whenever I hear those cool stories, it inspires me to work harder.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. Like, we're at this age where a lot of our friends are finding their thing.
Yeah,
they're figuring out like, what do I do best? What do I love to do? And it's really cool to watch people like figure that out and really like sharpen their craft. So I mean, let's get into an example.
Yeah, so I guess this whole show is just gonna be shout outs to awesome people.
It's gonna be a lot of shout outs. So as far as like music goes, it's been really cool to see our boys, the BEC.
Yeah, the BEC.
Frank and Scary.
We're trying to get them on the show soon. We're gonna work something out.
Yeah, we definitely want to, but they just went on a big tour. Like, kids that went to high school are rappers. They have music videos, really nice production.
Yeah, they have really nice production.
It's beautiful. Their music's awesome. Like, they're very skilled rappers. Like, I remember I played lacrosse with both of them, and they would freestyle on the bus, and like they were sick at it. And it's just crazy to see that they're like making a career with it.
Yeah, it's really cool to see.
Really neat.
That's probably like one of the most, like, I'd say, like outlandish feats that I've heard around here.
Yeah,
like for the most part, you know, you say like, oh yeah, I want to be a rapper, and people are like, all right, whatever. Like this kid
from like suburban New York.
Yeah, these
like,
two white kids from suburban New York want to be rappers, but
they
didn't care, and they're
killing it.
Yeah, they're killing it.
They were like all over the West Coast, and
they were in Las Vegas doing some shows. So that's cool stuff. We really like it.
That's just awesome. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to the BEC.
And even so, like Nick Scantino, before even BEC, he had his clothing company.
Yeah,
he did pretty well.
He was making awesome shirts. Everybody in school was wearing those around. Yeah. Cool stuff. So that inspires me. I like to see music, especially like anytime I see someone doing live music, or like I want to pick up my guitar, or I want to play the piano or something, and like I'm not that good musically, but it makes me want to practice and it makes me want to get better.
We've got a few friends who are really into music. Matt Carvin with his band Lap Giraffe.
Matt Carvin, yes, absolutely.
He's actually releasing his
he's going
EP, I think today. He's
going under a new name. He's not with Lap Giraffe anymore.
Right.
But Jean M. He's going to school now this semester. He's going for jazz performance.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, which like, again, awesome. Like, just to see people like performing at these high levels in the arts gets me stoked. It really makes me wish I was more able to pursue music.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
I used to be far more into it than I am now. But
it's so hard to do everything.
It's hard to do everything.
I could definitely carve out a little bit more time to practice, and these guys definitely make me want to do that.
Who else is cool? Cody Berthium. We had him on the show a while ago. I think it was like episode 6 or maybe 7. He just got back. He graduated, and he just got back from a 65-day road trip all the way across the Midwest, and all the way west. He went all the way out to California, Washington, Oregon, all these places. He basically just vagabonded from state park to state park, or national park to national park. Did a lot of camping. Did just lots of adventures.
In the car.
Yeah, sleeping in cars.
That's definitely a kind of trip that I've always kind of wanted to do, but I've never quite had the nuts to do it. I would love to do just a long trip, just place to place, but it's freaky to me because I'd rather not sleep in my car a bunch, and I'd rather know that I can afford food and everything. And I think I would run out of money way faster than I wanted to.
He told me that that was one of his problems. He did end up running out of money faster than he expected, but he got kicked out of campsites because he didn't have permits to sleep there, or he'd be sleeping in a parking garage and was like, hey, you gotta go, and he's like, okay. So living on the road, I'm sure, has its
it's not easy.
It's trials. Yeah.
But I mean, he survived. He's doing fine.
Yeah, he's great.
But yeah, really cool. And he went to school for conservation type,
environmental conservation,
ecological type stuff. So again, something, we love nature. We would like to be out in it more.
If I never chose this field, I think that would be the field for me to go into.
Definitely, if what Cody's doing sounds interesting, check out. That was one of our earlier shows. We did an episode with Cody.
You can go back and hear about how he tracked these wolves in Yellowstone for a couple weeks.
Yeah, we might have him on again and chat about his adventures, but something that's really inspiring to me and makes me want to get out in nature more. Shout out to Cody Berthium.
Yeah, shout out to Cody Berthium. Go check him out.
Check him out for sure.
Who else is pretty sweet?
You're saying Arjun's doing some pretty cool stuff.
Our friend Arjun Patel, he was just out in San Francisco with a Google internship, and he said that was really inspiring to him. He learned a lot about where technology's going, and he wasn't able to tell me too much because I guess there's some pretty great projects.
Google,
some projects he's working on.
Voodoo stuff.
But he's just this goofy kid who loves skating and just messing around, and he's super good at beatboxing. He said one of the best ways he was able to meet new people when he was in his internship was to he would just beatbox occasionally because that's what he does, and people thought he was just the coolest person for doing it. He said he showed up to work in a banana outfit, a pineapple outfit or something. So he just having a lot of fun, but he's making a lot of big moves with some big tech companies and just
information technologies and stuff.
He was telling us to get into the fitness app world. He says that's really popping.
I don't know the first thing about creating an app.
That's what his skill set is, though. He's like, I can do anything. He's like, my job, if we were in a brainstorming area, if we were just shooting out ideas, he's like, my job is to make it happen through technology.
Cool. That's cool.
And I guess he has a skill set to do that, which is really nice.
I think he's probably more expensive than we can afford.
However, if someone we can't afford is Zane Davies, who we had on the show very recently. I think he's the last podcast we just uploaded.
Yes, he was.
And he's working on his freelance graphic design business, and I think we're his first clients, and he's done this really well. Go grab that business card real quick.
Show everybody.
Yeah, he just put out this business card for us.
Periscope friends.
And I think they look pretty sharp.
This is the Meat Robots business card. This is Eric's card.
Put up to those ones too.
This is the guy. We're rocking
triple cameras today. 2 of them are going to be used for the podcast, shooting back and forth. And I don't know if you're saving the Periscope one, but right now we are live streaming.
We are live streaming. Yeah, so I mean, Zane made this logo for us.
He really did it all by telephone conferences. We kind of sent text messages back and forth with we'd sketch up something very basic, and
I think we were a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah, we were definitely a pain in the ass with our process, but he made it happen.
I didn't know what I wanted, and then we figured it out, and he killed it. He made a really attractive logo for us, and he laid it out in a really cool way for the card.
If you ever need any graphic design stuff, I would recommend Zane first and foremost over anyone else I know. Yeah,
because he was patient with us.
He was patient
even
with
though
us.
We were shitty clients.
Yeah, we didn't even have to meet up. We did meet up with him one time, but I mean, you could be in California and get the same quality job that we got with really relatively low amount of input and back and forth with him. He really just kind of has a really creative process that he uses to get these ideas out.
Yeah, and he was very interested in like the branding side of it too.
Yeah, it's so super important. Most people we talk to about like logos and stuff, they're just like, okay, so you want like this cool image?
He talked to us about like what did we want it to represent. And
yeah, he's talking about like scalability, being able to transfer it to other projects and stuff like that. So
very cool. Definitely a graphic design minded, not just an artist, but a designer. So yeah, couldn't have had that beautiful logo without him. Not a chance. Another thing that gets me really stoked, this isn't like really a friend of mine or anything, but I was just in Boston for a jiu-jitsu tournament, and I saw Joao Miao, who is like professional. He trains full time. I don't think he does anything but jiu-jitsu.
He's young too, isn't he?
I think he's like 24 years old.
Jesus.
He and his brother Paolo are like professional black belt jiu-jitsu fighters, and I watched this dude fight, and it was just incredible, because like this is an open level tournament, like anyone can sign up, and even the black belts that signed up were just leagues behind this professional fighter. The guy in his weight class, he had one guy in his weight class, he scored like 15 points on him and then choked him out. And just the way he moves is amazing. Like I've never in person seen someone just so able to react and so able to move. Very dynamic game, which like a lot of high level jiu-jitsu can be very stagnant, kind of boring to watch. But he moves a lot, and he has cool twists and turns that he does, and it's all for a purpose, and it makes him win. And he won the open weight. So he
dominated.
He was by far the best practitioner in that room out of like hundreds of people.
Wow.
No matter the size.
So he won the entire tournament?
I mean,
for open weight.
He didn't compete with any brown belts or purple belts, but yeah, he, as far as black belts, he was the best black belt regardless of size.
So he was the best there then?
I would say he's the best there. But really cool. I even got a picture with him.
Oh yeah.
he seemed so uninterested in like chatting. Like I don't think he speaks a lot of English. I think Portuguese is definitely his first language. Yeah. I don't think he speaks a lot of English. But like I asked him for a picture. He was just kind of like, yeah. And then I took a picture and he walked away.
I was like, yeah.
And then he was taking a nap on the bleachers, like right behind where I put my stuff.
That's cool.
So I mean, really inspiring to see such high level stuff. I saw a lot of really skilled practitioners doing their thing on the mats, and I didn't do as well as I wanted to, but I'm pretty stoked for the next chance, which is going to be October in Toronto.
That's pretty soon. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pretty stoked to get back at it.
Besides things that we actually encounter, like people we know who inspire us, like we take a lot of inspiration from just cool things we see. A lot of things are like activity based, but getting into different ways to move, like slacklining is something we've been really interested in. Gray's been really into rock climbing. We're trying to always look for things that are just inspiring, just cool things to tap into.
Yeah. And I mean, anytime I see someone doing something at a high level, someone doing skilled work, I always think it's amazing. And like on Instagram, on the Meat Robots page, we follow a lot of like knife makers.
Yeah.
And that's really, really cool to see. It's something like I never realized there were people who just like made knives all day.
Yeah, these guys make
and they're
incredible
super
knives.
Skilled.
Yeah.
They're really cool to watch, and it like anytime I see like high level stuff like that, it makes me want to get involved in whatever that is in some capacity, just because it's exciting to watch people do stuff like that. Another thing, the guy I stayed with in Boston, Dr. John Cherry, he's a buddy of mine. I've trained jiu-jitsu with him for years. He just got his PhD in like
that's dope
in neuroscience, and it's just like academia can be really inspiring as well. People who are really chasing like high level degrees.
And, who's
doing novel research and stuff.
Ethan Yeah, Marcy was doing some novel research. By the way, she's gotten this paper published
Very cool.
in a peer-reviewed journal about how... Is it about BPA?
No,
Is that the one?
I have no idea. It was something that I didn't understand even the title of. But it's published. Really cool. Yeah, but my buddy John is doing... He does research on brains. He has a bank of dead brains of like athletes that he studies.
Oh, weird.
I think he does a lot of concussion studies and like people who are depressed or suicide cases, and if they're linked to concussions and like the state of the brain after the fact.
That's pretty good.
Pretty interesting. So I was joking with him. He's going to be the reason in 15 years why there's no high school football anymore.
Oh, right.
Which could be pretty true.
You think so?
I think it's very possible.
I feel like schools are way too invested in it. Like NCAA, they make all their money off football. But I guess that's college football, but high school football.
Yeah, but it might be like outside of the public school system. I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what about Ethan? Ethan's like
Ethan. He's a neuroscientist now. I mean, he graduated.
Ethan Fitzgerald.
Shout out. We used
to
do
really cool
lots of production stuff with him.
Such a smart kid, and I remember like it was like junior year of high school was when he like realized that it was really rewarding to him to work hard in class and study hard and get good grades.
Yeah, there was kind of like a shift for him, wasn't there?
There was a huge shift. I remember it like fully, like when he was realizing that, like the huge reward he felt from working hard in the classroom. And he graduated a year before any of us, and in a really tough field too.
Yeah,
but he just took a ton of APs in high school, and now he has like a sick degree.
We got a friend, Tyler Mancini, who's a legit rocket scientist. He's going to grad school at UT now for aerospace engineering. So these are all just like really cool things I'm seeing my friends do.
Yeah, and I mean it all inspires me to learn, to grow.
I'm trying to live up to like those same
become
expectations.
Artistic. I'll say like Ryan Knapp's art.
Oh yeah,
it's really super cool. Lately, he found like a really cool style. He has this like thin pen line drawing with a lot of watercolors, and it's his own, and he writes weird fucking phrases along with it. And
it's kind of like dark and abstract.
I don't always understand 100% where he's coming from, but like
they look cool.
That's part of the wonder of it.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool what he's doing, and like it always makes me think his work. It always makes me like kind of wonder like who is this little character? Where did he come from?
Yeah.
So that's
when I see all these people doing cool things,
and I've like reposted him on Instagram.
Yeah, go check his page out.
Ryan Knapp.
I think he's got a brand
Ryan
now.
G. Knapp.
Yeah, Ryan G. Knapp, I think.
Yeah, what is it from Something Salad?
From Something Salad, I think.
I think he just made some stickers too. So
yeah,
I'd like some of those.
Yeah.
Really cool what he's doing with his art. He's been getting like cool tattoos too, and he's like collaborating with his artists. He had like just a really like simple line drawing he did tattooed, and I think it's awesome. It's a little shark.
Yeah, it's a little shark guy, right?
Saying okay.
Yeah. But when I see all these cool people doing things that I find really intriguing, I try to live up to that same expectation as far as like do things and try to live my life in a way that other people would find inspiration through me, because I find a lot of inspiration through these people, and I hope that at least one person out there kind of looks to me and says, wow, he's doing some cool stuff, and hopefully that is just like a domino effect for people to do more cool stuff. Yeah,
so I mean like all the artists, musicians, bodybuilders,
I'm essentially doing it for the likes.
Underwater basket weavers, like everyone who's just grinding to improve what they do is awesome to me. Whether it's physical, whether it's purely mental, whether
like Neil deGrasse Tyson, awesome guy.
Oh yeah. I mean, whatever you're doing, if you're working hard to improve it and just get better at something, I think there's nothing more satisfying in the world than just like chasing something like that.
Yeah, it's like an innate human spirit.
And there's a lot of things that I kind of like to chase. But I mean, like right now for me, number one is jiu-jitsu. I could be more focused on it. If that was more my only thing, I think I could be advancing faster. But I like to do a lot of these things because it looks really satisfying to grow and improve in a lot of these different fields.
Yeah, I'm trying to find something I want to like put a lot of effort into soon. But I mean, whether I hone in like more of my craft as far as like leather crafting and stuff like that, I'm trying to find like a separate hobby from lifting to really tap into.
But I mean, I think it's also really respectable to dabble in a lot of these things, to be a generalist.
That's kind of what we're all about. We do a lot of different stuff.
I think it's really cool to be a little bit of a power lifter, a little bit of a fighter, a little bit of an artist, a little bit of an intellectual. I think it's definitely respectable, and I think that's what more of the population is like. More people do more things.
Yeah.
So the ones that stand out are the people who really crack down and focus on one and make it really cool. Make it just incredible. Do things that others could not achieve because they're not as focused. They aren't putting as much energy into that one craft.
Yeah. And even when I do think about like, okay, yeah, I'd really like to do just one thing and really develop it. And I try to think of like, well, what would that task be? What kind of hobby would I like to get into? And I think of like 10 of them, like, wow, these are all really, really cool. I want to do all of them. I should just do all of them.
Yeah, and I mean, it's definitely learning for most things is quicker when you're first picking it up.
Right.
And so like you can get to these like plateaus and these sticking points and get frustrated with something and put it down. So that's part of why it's pretty incredible how these people are pushing past those tough parts and really just like taking their game to the next level, whatever it may be.
I was listening to an interview with Pavel Satsuin, the guy from the Kettlebell Dude, and the way he kind of like writes his articles and stuff like that is he'll be working on one article, and then when he starts to like stall, he'll just switch gears to immediately to a different article, and that's kind of like how I do my go into like my hobbies and like things I like to do. I like to get into something, and if I'm kind of like not making progress or I'm getting like kind of tired of it, I just try to switch gears to something else, and it always keeps me developing in different areas, which I like.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to be a generalist in a lot of ways, but I definitely envy the specialists, the people who are really killing it in one aspect or in a couple aspects. I think it's really cool and really respectable, and I someday hope to achieve a level of greatness like that.
Yeah, a level of mastery. A master of all trades. A straight Renaissance man.
Yeah. Someday I'll be like the Da Vinci of the 21st century.
That'd be sweet.
It'd be sweet.
It's a lofty goal. Yeah, that's kind of what we're all about. Trying to
I mean,
develop ourselves as generalists.
I guess take-home message is like, whatever you like to do, be it one thing, be it many, get better.
Yeah, get better.
Practice. Do it a lot.
Expose yourself to people who are game changers in the different fields that you're interested in, and find inspiration wherever you can.
Yeah, don't necessarily give things up if they get hard, but don't frustrate yourself too much on one thing. Find a balance. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah. If you have any input for us as far as like people you find inspiring, tweet their page or tweet anything about them to us at Meet Robots PC on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you can follow us on Instagram at Meet Robots. Check out our website. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or on any other Android application.
Yeah, we love to hear from you guys. We love to see everybody listening to the show. So
we kind of talk about a lot of topics. I know the physicality is something we cover most of the time. But if you've seen something that we've turned you on to and you think it's pretty cool, let us know.
All right. Later, folks.
Peace.